Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another entry of the Self Made the Label Music's Sports Networks Friday Night Live series coming to you. Obviously, not on Friday, it's a Saturday Night Live edition of the Friday Night Live show. As always, well, first of all, let me thank our excellent sponsor. This show is brought to you and hosted by Hybrid Promotions. Had a great show last night out here in Omaha. Appreciate everyone that came out. Fantastic turnout. Fantastic show for everybody. Anyways, I am Slim. As always, I am joined by my dog, JT. How you doing tonight, brother?
I'm doing a lot better than I was doing maybe about 3 or 4 hours ago. Obviously,
Man,
this
man.
afternoon was not quite what we thought it would be. What it was it?
I mean, they left with a win, so that's
Yeah.
good for
See,
me.
we've been talking, and I have kind of accepted a win's a win. But yeah, man, that was stressful, man. I wasn't feeling so good about it. I think you were feeling a little better about it than I was, but ooh, that was uh that was not fun. But they pulled it out. They got out of Dodge, and never want to see a football game in Jonesboro, Arkansas ever again.
Oh hell no! Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I changed underwear and shirts at halftime because it wasn't what I wore the first 3 weeks. So I switched it up at halftime and threw on the lucky skivvies and the lucky shirt, and it I guess it worked.
Yeah, I took a full blown shower at halftime because I felt so dirty. Not I mean not that the second half really wasn't that much better than the first half. It just ended up working out. So
Yeah, well, it worked. You might have to shower
I
at
guess
every halftime.
yeah, I guess so. I
All
wish I
right.
could shower at halftime at Jack Trice. That'd be nice.
Hey, well, tell Jamie. All
You
right.
can't afford
So
that.
everybody, for the first time, it's always been me and JT here coming to you live. Uh, for the first time on the self-made the label music's sports networks Friday Night Live series, we are going to have a guest join us. This man is the CEO, the founder, the president of self-made the label music's network, and everything that we do in the city. Would like to bring him in now, Mr. Young Bakes.
How you guys doing tonight?
What's up, man?
What's up? What's up?
So, gentlemen, um, well, first of all, I guess how are you doing tonight, Mr. Bakes?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm just glad to be here. I see what you guys are doing for the network. I follow every week, no matter what I got going on. So I think it's something truly special what you guys are doing. Like I said, I'm just happy to be here tonight.
We appreciate having you.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
All right, JT, I'm going to give you the coin flip here. Do you want to get out your frustrations over this Iowa State game, or do you want to stew on them for a little bit and we can cover the Nebraska game from this morning?
Let's uh let's go ahead and let's go in chronological order. I know you guys went to the I know you, Slim. I know you went to the Nebraska game. I don't know, Bakes, if you went,
Yes.
but yeah, let's tell me about your experience in Lincoln, Nebraska.
It was a great crowd today. Um, I felt like there was more disappointment in the stands with them kicking that field goal on that first drive. I think that was kind of everyone's like crescendo for the day. Obviously, they went ahead and put up 38 points or whatever it was in the first half. So it still worked out. It still worked out great for them. But I feel like that was kind of like the lone like shotgun hit they wanted to have was that first initial touchdown. After that, it was it was pretty ho hum. You touchdown, touchdown, stop, stop. At one point, I think Nebraska had like 320 yards of total offense, and um, Houston Christian had it like 45. So it was like an ass kicking up and down the board. I thought Raiola looked strong uh, for the main part. Um, Overall, good atmosphere. I'm actually gonna pass this over to Bakes here. He's our Husker specialist. He'll be able to give us a little more in depth breakdown rather than what I've seen at the stadium today.
How are we feeling about those
down
Huskers?
as I would break it down as I'm a Husker specialist, just a diehard fan. I truly feel like we haven't played anyone. Our first game was against Cincinnati. They gave us some challenges. We really had to hone in on defense to go ahead and get the win. But then the last 2 weeks is just kind of just been those smaller schools, just really just playing us to get money for their schools, which is also a really great thing. But no true test. Next week we play Michigan. I really look forward to that battle to see how we fare. That will kind of give us you know, a true identity to see like what kind of team we want to be this year.
You feel good about the offense?
I think the offense is flowing well. Hogerson, he's really orchestrating some things that it's really opening up the offense. You see a lot of accurate throws, see a lot of confidence, you see a lot of hard runs, big holes. I think that's very, very important for Nebraska's development. For the simple fact is, we've been mediocre for the last several years. When I say several years, I really mean a decade. But you got to have faith.
I guess the one thing I'm gonna kind of push back on is we'll get into the other side of this here in a little bit, but the 2-minute drill that they ran at the end of the first half, you're up kind of 38-0. You're playing with house money. There's 1:02 to go. I believe they had 2 timeouts, and the ball was maybe at the 15 or the 17-yard line, something around there. And it kind of really felt like that they gave all the power to Raiola to kind of make a decision for himself. And against a team like that, you just kind of hope you can move the ball down the field, and it ended up turning into a 3-and-out. To me, that's a little concerning. At least you can go back and look at it on film in the future. And, it's obviously something that's correctable, but I think, at least for me, if you get in that situation against someone that's bigger than Houston Christian, I don't know, you're going to have confidence in him to make that play when it's needed.
Yeah, I completely understand. When you look at Raiola, he's extremely talented. He has every tool in the toolbox.
Absolutely.
This is our third matchup. He's sophomore. He hasn't reached that slump yet. I think he's done a lot of great things. I think he's been orchestrating the offense and commanding it very well. He's been hitting his open receivers. He's been reading defenses. But as far as that 2-minute drive, it's 4 quarters to a game. We can't pin too much on a 2-minute drive. I know you were in the stands and you were feeling very, very, very high on your emotions and whatnot.
Right.
But I watched it from the living room, comfort of my own home. It was very nice. I just feel like, with Texas Christian, we should be beating them up and down the field, but you also got to give that team some respect. They got a lot of athletes. They got a lot of Texas guys on there. They got a lot of speed. They made some plays when it mattered for them, but when you break the game down, there was really no competition.
Yeah, they were clearly a step ahead of them throughout the game.
Yeah.
I want to hit you guys with one more fact about this, and then I'm going to let you close it out. We can move on. Houston Christian just became a football school 11 years ago. Excuse me, 12 years ago. 12 years ago, they became a program. I thought that was really interesting. That's about all I got on there.
I guess I do kind of want to ask Biggs what his opinion is on Dylan Raiola, his whole Patrick Mahomes thing. Obviously, I think it's corny as hell. I'm just curious what a Nebraska fan thinks about that.
But the haircut may look similar, but it's really not. They got the same quarterback coach that they trained with in the offseason. I'm sure they've trained together. I mean, if you're a young quarterback with a lot of talent, why not model yourself as someone who's getting paid over $300 million? That's pretty inspiring.
Yeah.
I understand like the same warm-ups and the same look and all that, but I just think there's just 2 handsome guys out there ready to produce.
I think the thing that just gets me a little bit is that whenever he's called out on it, he pretends to not know what anybody's talking about, and that's where it's like, come on, man, just own up to it. It's nothing to be ashamed of, like you just said. It's just
he's
so
actually
weird
had that haircut longer than
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes.
Actually, you're not wrong on that. He's had that since
Yeah.
he came out of high school.
Yeah. Yeah, the mannerism thing is kind of crazy, but I guess so far it's working out for him, so I can't hate too much.
I mean, he's got an Adidas deal, you know.
Yeah.
Patrick
Adidas,
Mahomes,
if you're looking,
he has an
we'll
Adidas
take a
deal.
sponsor.
Yeah.
We're open to it.
That's
it.
right.
I guess one more thing. Thoughts on Michigan next week?
I just look forward to see what Underwood does. He got a lot of good runs today. He had a nice couple sharp passes. I just kind of want to see what he does. You know, with Rule being an NFL guy, he's probably going to try to confuse him on defense, hit him with some disguises and things of that nature. If we could control the scrambling and really hone in on defense when he's throwing the ball, I think we'll be all right. We just got to find a balance that works for us. I look forward to seeing the Huskers win, but this will be a true test for the Cornhuskers.
Well, one thing that'll be interesting, and I don't know how much this will really impact, is that obviously Michigan's head coach Sharon Moore is serving a 2-game suspension for all the nonsense that happened last year, a couple years ago, whatever it was. So when Michigan faces Nebraska next week, they're not going to have their head coach. So I don't know if that'll mean anything, but
is that a conference suspension, or is that just a general?
I think it was just because he was suspended today's game, and I'm guessing that Michigan wasn't playing a conference opponent. It's a 2-game suspension,
right?
And Michigan was playing somebody else today, so I'm pretty sure it was an NCAA suspension. I don't know. Yeah, I think it was an NCAA suspension. I don't think it was a self-imposed suspension.
Hey, before we keep going,
that's one thing that's interesting for Nebraska.
I don't mean to cut you off, but before we keep going, my man Spencer Scholl wants to make sure that we see him down here in the chat. I got him up on the screen right now with his little comment.
What's up, Spencer? How you doing?
That is our boy from Hybrid Promotions. Glad to have him here supporting, blowing us up in the chat. I got you, dog. Don't worry. You got anything else to add?
I believe Michigan is going to be prepared to play, head coach or not. They're all professionals. They're all receiving a salary to do what they do and what they love most, and that's coaching football. So I think that Michigan team will be prepared and ready to play. I know they got a Bama transfer at running back who's been looking really good this year. Like I said, Bryce Underwood, 5-star athlete. He's going to be ready to play. So we better sharpen up on defense. So we're going to need Singleton. We're going to need Wright. We're just going to need the D-line. They're just really step up and do what they need to do so we can secure a victory.
Well, it's at home, so I think y'all got it. I don't know. I haven't seen nothing that proves me otherwise.
Well, so far our schedule has been extremely favorable, but we got a couple true tests later on in the season. We play USC, and then we play Penn State. Those are going to be games that.
But you've been beating up on teams you're supposed to beat up on, so that's the biggest thing that matters.
Yeah.
All right.
It should be a fun matchup. Certainly a fun quarterback matchup there. 2 really, really high profile college quarterbacks.
All right, Mr. JT. We're gonna move on. I'm interested to hear your instant reaction to what we saw down in Jonesboro today.
Yeah, so I guess the first thing that I think is interesting is it felt like for one of the first times in a long time, a lot of the Iowa State media was very confident that Iowa State was going to roll. I was hearing Williams and Bren talk about, Iowa State's going to beat them 50-13 or whatever, whatever. And honestly, I don't fault them for doing that. Kind of like we've talked about before about Iowa State.
I don't mean to cut you off, but did you get a weird vibe at the beginning of that game that something was a little different?
Yeah, I did. It kind of felt like there's a couple of things that I'd say. I think I guess just one main thing is I felt like right off the bat they weren't playing a lot of the regulars. I felt like I didn't see a whole lot of Jeremiah Cooper in the first half. Yep. Obviously, they held out Gabe Burkle. It sounds like that was mostly precautionary. I didn't see a whole lot of Bramer in the first half. Pretty much anything involving the tight ends, it was going to Moore and Alexander.
Yeah,
and so
Moore was huge today.
Yeah, he was big. But that just kind of it's almost like they decided right off the bat that, hey, we're going to play some of the reserves. You saw one thing that I didn't expect is that the kid from Valley, Zay Robinson, took the opening kickoff. Obviously, it was a fair catch, but it just kind of felt right off the bat that they were before the game had even started, kind of laying off the accelerator, which kind of gave me a weird feeling of, are we getting a little too cocky here, of getting ahead of ourselves?
Right.
Because I don't know about you, but I just felt like I wasn't seeing a lot of the guys that I would normally see in the first half. Obviously, we saw them come out in the second half. I saw plenty of Jeremiah Cooper, but it's almost like they got ahead of their skis a little bit. I don't know what you saw.
Yeah, I think they kind of approached that game today as like a video game almost,
like a scrimmage.
Yeah, they took 3 shots right down the field. First possession, they didn't even fuck around running the ball. They went deep a couple times and then tried to catch a nice little pass over the middle. Went 3 and out real quick, got the ball back. Damn near fucked up punting. Was that the first series or the second series that they punted from the end zone? And
that was a little later in the game. I feel like that was sometime in the second half, wasn't it?
I can't remember. I don't remember seeing that actually happen live. I just saw a replay of it.
Yeah, I remember it happening live, and it was closer to the second half.
Yeah, special teams were,
because it was the possession after the Trey Bell interception, I believe.
Oh, is that when that was? Yeah, that
so
was
pretty late.
That was a debacle too.
Yeah, they blew that.
Well, I look at it as you guys were trying to keep guys fresh. Everything's a situation.
Oh, 100%.
That's what I was thinking. That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys got a lot of young talent. A lot of new pieces. I think you guys are holding your own. Your defense shows up when it matters most. Your quarterback is smooth as nails.
Mm-hmm.
Maturity. I've heard the word maturity thrown around a lot the last couple of weeks, and
he brings his heart at week in, week out.
Yeah.
I don't know if you listen.
That last play there where they could have ran the ball and maybe given Arkansas like 20 seconds, they just decided to go for it and played off, man.
Fuck it. That's the one thing I'm really starting to like about Campbell is he's been here long enough now, is that he's in a position where he kind of say, fuck it, let's see what happens, rather than, take a conservative approach and, play to not lose rather than play to win.
Yeah, he's definitely gotten a lot more aggressive. Like, I feel like there was a time there where he was pretty much another Kirk Ferentz with how conservative he was. Like, and I think you and I were kind of talking about this like 5, 6, 7 years ago. I don't think Matt Campbell does what he does there at the end of the second half, where he decides to let Taylor Mauser and Rocco Beck kind of rip it there, and it ends up really paying off. How often do you see an Iowa State team with 40 seconds left in the first half decide to actually throw the ball downfield?
Oh,
I was shocked.
So
I don't think Matt Campbell does that 5 years ago.
I was talking about how kind of upset I was with the way Nebraska ran the 2-minute drill there when they got the ball back late in that first half. Yeah, I watched that 2-minute drive with the same person that I watched the one at the stadium with, and I couldn't believe it. Like, I thought that was the best execution, and he even got sacked on one of those plays. Burned a timeout on a sack. It still took him 3 plays, 50 seconds to get down the field. I thought that, or not 50 seconds, that was another drive. But, I mean, what was it, 27 seconds maybe?
Yeah.
The field, it was incredible. It was incredible.
And I'm wondering if we can deviate really. I do want to come back to Iowa State, but your boy Spencer just brought up a great point. I was watching that Georgia Tech Clemson game this morning, and that was kind of like the one really good game, pretty much the only good game in the 11 a.m. slot. Really insane game. I was really impressed with Georgia Tech's performance. It seems like they're kind of the real deal. That they've had a couple of really nice performances. And even on Clemson's side, I thought Cade Klubnik looked really good, but it was a really, really crazy finish. I feel like Georgia Tech didn't manage the clock very well. It was in a situation where it was 4th down, and they had to kick one of those fire drill 55-yard field goals.
Yep, and he made it, didn't he?
And the kid, the kid made it.
Incredible.
It was nuts. I
got a lot of respect for Dabo Swinney and what he's got going on and his consistency, but I feel like he's been coming up short. especially when it matters the most. For a minute there, we're talking like coach of the year, national championships, and it's just kind of been playing whack-a-mole. I'm here, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm here, I'm not.
Yeah, and Clemson, I almost sometimes forget myself that Clemson isn't in the SEC. They're in the ACC, which is an easier conference, and that's why it seems like a team like Clemson that is basically an SEC team should dominate the ACC conference, but it just seems like Dabo hasn't really been able to do it recently. He keeps getting all these really good quarterbacks, but yeah, that's a good call out.
Top 10 recruiting classes routinely.
Yeah.
I mean, you see, talent doesn't always mesh with vibes for a team.
Well, going back to Iowa State, you guys are bringing in 3 stars and turning them into professional athletes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I find that to be truly amazing.
I mean, that's getting guys to buy in on themselves and buying in on something that's bigger than them to reach a higher goal for themselves. And I mean, we talked about it a couple weeks ago that, we thought it was bullshit at one point. Campbell came out every week and said, culture, margins. And it's like, whatever, bro. We keep losing on the margins left and right. Like, we don't know how to win on the margins. And, here we are 5 years later, and they look like the sharpest team when it comes down to anything that, could be marginal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I just wanted to deviate to that real quick. It's interesting because I felt like Georgia Tech was one of the worst Power 5 football programs. So it seems like they've kind of started to turn it around. They had a really good game. They beat Colorado, which beating Colorado isn't looking to be that great of a win anymore. Colorado's not looking so high.
Yeah, well, neither is beating Kansas State at this point, but
yeah,
I digress.
Certainly a win.
Colorado can lock down a quarterback position.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I think they'll be all right.
Yeah,
I thought Deion has some great coaches on staff. I feel like their identity after Shador left and Travis Hunter and Shiloh left, they got to reinvent themselves.
Yeah, they definitely do. And you're right. They need to find a quarterback as well. They're like on their 3rd quarterback, I think. They just seem to be
kind of still having a quarterback tryout in a lot of ways. But they got a 5-star freshman that they pretty much only gave about 6 passes to. So,
did you watch any of the Bama game today? We'll go ahead and keep this moving here. I seen they won 38-14.
No, I didn't watch any of that.
Bounce back. I feel like Williams looked really, really good today.
Yeah, they needed that. Definitely.
Yeah, their quarterback is 6'7", strong arm. I just think he just need to hone in on reading these defenses and figure out what he wants to do offensively.
Oh yeah, you're right. Williams, he had a really good game. 2 touchdowns for 165.
Mm-hmm.
That may end up being the guy that ends up coming out of this Heisman race. Cause I see that Heisman race is still just wide open.
God, I don't know who I would put money on at this point. You give me $1,000. I don't know if I'd put it on anybody.
On FanDuel, the favorite is I think it's Oklahoma's quarterback for plus 1,000, and seeing the favorite for Heisman being plus 1,000 is absolutely insane. FanDuel,
and that's your favorite, and that's your favorite.
Yeah,
and it's early go. There's going to be a no-name guy popping in, in like 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, so somebody's got to, because obviously it's not going to be Arch Manning, that's for sure.
Yeah, we were right on not buying into the Arch train.
Yes, we were right on that.
It was always suspect from the jump. So, I guess the next score we can scan over real quick. John, do you want to give us an update on the Iowa game?
Let's see here. Iowa is winning 40-7. The 3rd quarter is about to expire here, so kind of like we were talking about off air. It was interesting last week seeing the when they just got a fumble recovery. Oh no, they didn't. Anyway, all the Iowa fans were so down in the dumps last week, and they were kind of trying to taper their own future excitement by saying, we know we're going to kick the shit out of UMass, and we shouldn't get our hopes back up, but they got their hopes back up. I see that Andrew Downs literally said that he knows that he said that last week, but he doesn't care anymore. Mark Gronowski is relatively balling out here against UMass, throwing for over 100 yards. So congrats to Mr. Gronowski for breaking the century mark in a game. but yeah, it's just kind of funny. They told themselves they weren't going to get excited when they beat the shit out of UMass, and they're beating the shit out of UMass, and they're getting excited. So,
Well, he's
that's the story.
currently about 21 yards away from breaking 200, which would be the first time an Iowa quarterback has done that in 2 years. I guess before we move on to the NFL and some bigger and better things here on the show, I want to kind of cover Cyhawk last week to kind of put a bow on everything. I guess the first question I have for you is: did you have to be resuscitated there towards the end of the game? And did you break anything when he made the field goal?
Yeah, that was crazy. You know, I told my dad that's another bucket list item. Seeing Iowa State visually in person, seeing Iowa State knock off Iowa. Man,
that's right. I don't mean to cut you off real quick,
Yeah.
but to remind everybody, JT was in the stadium.
Yes, I was in
the kick.
I was in the stadium for the kick. Yeah, it was, and obviously, you know, for those that have been in Jack Trice Stadium or really any NFL stadium, for most fans, it's kind of you can't really tell what's going on with the field goal until the referee signals it, or
right.
You know, sometimes the band or the fans in the Souk Up will kind of tip it off. But yeah, that was absolutely nuts. It was one of the craziest moments in Jack Trice history. Obviously, I ended up being pretty wrong. I thought Iowa State was gonna roll, kind of like a lot of people thought they were gonna roll today. It ended up being a traditional run of the mill, ugly ass Cyhawk game. I've kind of forgotten about it already, just because of today. But yeah, that was nuts, and being there for that field goal, it was very a very special experience. I was glad to be there.
I thought they should have stormed the field personally.
Yeah, they're so strict about that. You know, they got all this the
CFCs,
the security guys with the
fines or
with
whatever.
the rope and the stuff like that. So yeah, they had people blocked off pretty well. So I don't know. I feel like we would have gotten some heat if we had stormed the field because we were favored.
For sure.
So,
but I mean, it's nice to.
I'm okay that they didn't. But yeah,
nice to storm the field in your head.
Incredible.
You know?
Yeah, and as we talked about, really probably better than the game was listening to the Instant Iowa podcast on Iowa Everywhere with Chris Hassel and Andrew Downs. It was just a borderline erotic experience listening to Hassel and Downs meltdown for an hour at Sweet Caroline's in Ames. It was just amazing. So any Cyclone fans out there, Iowa Everywhere, Instant Iowa last week, Andrew Downs, Chris Hassel. It's a must listen if you like Hawkeye Tears. It was incredible.
Yep, me and my dad sat on the back patio at their house and muted the TV, and I put it on my phone, and we sat there and listened to the whole thing live. It was
incredible.
It was great.
But, yeah, well, that's what I got on Cyhawk.
4-0 going into a bye.
Yeah, that's all you can ask for, and kind of swinging back around to the game today, as we were talking about offline. I think really the only thing that I'm concerned about long term is what's going on with Kyle Conradi. Obviously, he missed a PAT and then missed kind of that. I think it was like a 42-yard field goal where he missed the field goal.
It is horrible.
And he kind of came up lame a little bit where there was he didn't completely follow through on the kick, and he kind of pulled up a little bit there. So I don't exactly know what happened there. Iowa State's not very deep at kicker. Jace Gilbert had been hurt. Jace Gilbert had been their kickoff specialist, just doing their kickoffs. Obviously, we know Jace Gilbert from his very tumultuous season back in 2022. But obviously, I assume he would have been good to kick some field goals if Conradi's out. But I think he had been hurt as well, and so they just got this one kid like Chase Smith or something like that.
He's a walk-on kicker.
Yeah, freshman from Podunk. Yep. I think he's from North. I shouldn't say Podunk, Iowa. I think he's from North Elbridge, Iowa. Who was? I looked it up. He was in high school. He was 4 for 6 on field goals with a long of 42 yards. So
great.
He kicked a few PATs against South Dakota, and he kicked a PAT today. So I guess if he can make PATs, I'll take it. But I don't know if he'd be able to make a field goal.
He could have kicked for Urbandale when we were in high school at that point.
Yeah, that's right. So I think that's really the only thing that I'm concerned about long term. I don't think there were any other injuries that I can think of. It's just what's going on with Conradi.
Yep, I agree 100%. All right, well, I'm gonna bring the young CEO back in over here, Mr. Young Big. So I'm gonna let you lead off on your little plenary tonight with the NFL. Why don't you go ahead and let us know what's going on? And
Well, I guess my first topic was talk about the Raiders. I feel like they got a lot of problems. You know, you got new coaches, signing wide receivers, then the receiver retiring.
Cooper,
Yeah. The top
Bastard.
pick. Yeah. The top pick, Genty, not looking the best. I know it's only been a couple weeks. We're currently in week 2. I look for him to showing something, but as of right now, I mean, I'm not thoroughly impressed. Such a high pick, you know, you would think he would be impactful immediately.
I don't know how you draft a running back, knowing that you probably don't have an offensive line.
Yeah.
I think Bowers was kind of they're going to be the piece of their pie this year, and now he's looking a little suspicious with that knee injury that he had late. Granted, the game was out of reach, so no point in putting him back in. But yeah, I really don't know what the Raiders got going on with the offensive line. And like you said,
it seems to. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No.
Yeah, I was gonna say it seems to always come back. I mean, it seems like they have a quarterback. They got Geno Smith. It seems like he'll do okay. I think he had a decent first game, but yeah, you're right. It seems like they kind of did things backwards there, where they've got a decently established veteran quarterback in Geno Smith, and supposedly are supposed to have this talented running back in Gentry, but it doesn't really matter if you don't have an offensive line. So they kind of did it backwards there.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess we can package a couple deals here. How'd you feel about Thursday night?
Felt incredible. The pack is back. It's just it's crazy how much that one guy just totally
changes everything, and you can see it. It's very rare that you can see like the actual effect that he has on the field, and just as menacing as he is, and you can tell that he's revitalized. He wants to be where he is, and he's not, he's not half-assing any snaps anymore. Like, and he's still playing a limited role. He's not playing nearly as much as he is, and he's supposedly got these back issues going on. But I mean, fuck, I can't see it. I don't know about you, but
no, yeah, he looks really good, man. And I was really worried about those cornerbacks. The cornerbacks have been fine, probably because of the defensive line. They're really able to bring the heat, and yeah, I mean, it's helping out the entire team because you plug in Parsons, and then Rashawn Gary looks good, Luca Van Ness looks good. Your cornerbacks start to look good, so I was really excited. I thought that the offense left some opportunities out there on the field, and as we saw, Jaden Reed broke his collarbone, which is kind of a bummer.
Yeah,
I was really discouraged to see that. And you're starting to already see that Golden is a little bit of a diva wide receiver. It sounds like he's not particularly thrilled with all of his touches, but so I think there's some things that they need to figure out on the offensive side of things with the wide receivers. But I think they got plenty of guys there. Wicks has looked really good, so I think they just need to get Golden involved in the offense a little bit more, and I think that just comes down to chemistry with Jordan Love. So yeah, I was excited. Just ecstatic to be a Packers fan right now.
Yeah, I thought Love played pretty good. I thought he orchestrated what he needed to do.
Yeah, he did what he needed to do. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you got a defense that isn't going to give up more than a couple touchdowns, or spot you 3 points here and there, like on a lame field goal for a bad field position, all you got to do is just move the ball down the field a couple times.
Yeah, it really changes how you do things on offense. You can be a little more aggressive on offense if you got a fourth down. I mean, I think there was a fourth down early on that they had went for it in a situation where Matt LaFleur I don't think ever would have gone for it before. They ended up not getting it, but because
Mhm.
you got that defense, it really didn't end up hurting them. I think it was like a 4th and 7 on Washington's like 45-yard line or something like that, which is probably just a situation where I think it might have literally been the first drive of the game. Just not a situation where you would see Matt LaFleur go for it there. But because you've got that defense, you know that you have a little more margin for error. So yeah, really excited. Uh, Jeff Hafley's defense has done incredible. I'm kind of trying to enjoy this Packer defense while I can, because I assume at some point Jeff Hafley is going to get poached by some
Yep.
team to be a head coach. Obviously, they'll still have Micah Parsons, so I mean, it'll just be next man up. But yeah, Jeff Hafley has been a revelation for this Packer defense, who has just had a terrible history of incredibly mediocre defensive coordinators dating back to Dom Capers and Joe Barry,
Oh
who just
God.
had these very. Oh yeah, you have some experience with Joe Barry on the
Yep.
Rams side of things. It's kind of like if John Haycock was bad at being a defensive coordinator, just these guys that ran these very conservative defenses like John Haycock does, but just didn't know how to effectively do it. So
It'd be essentially like hiring Jeff Fisher to be your head coach and then expect to be an offensive football team.
yeah, that's
Those
exactly
two things
right.
just don't really mesh very well.
Yeah, so
It's
good in Packerland.
I guess on the other side of that ball, for that game on Thursday night, Jaden Daniels, what are you seeing in him? I'll let whoever wants to take the field first. Talking about this first couple game kind of slouch, but what do y'all think about how he's looking at this point?
Well, I feel the NFL has got enough tape on him now. All the teams, they've seen what he can do. They know what he's going to run. They know what he's seeing. I think sophomore slump is going to be early in the season. I think he'll be able to fight his way out of it, but he's a tremendously talented individual, very, very smart, high IQ, good arm. He makes the right play, but I feel like the NFL is most definitely got enough tape on him.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking as well, where it seems like the NFL has caught up to him a little bit, and not to the extent where I'm really worried about it long term. I still think he's kind of the next, kind of top-rated class of quarterbacks in the NFL. He has a really
Like
good
a
offensive
Stroud.
coordinator.
Kind of
Yeah,
like
he
Stroud
has
on the same upside.
he has a really good offensive coordinator, probably one of the best offensive minds in the NFL, and Cliff Kingsbury on his side.
Yep.
So
Yeah, I was asking who their OC was.
yeah, so I think Kingsbury will allow Jaden Daniels to adjust a little bit. I think that's where Cliff Kingsbury shines the most is that offensive coordinator. Obviously, we've seen he's maybe not the greatest head coach in the world. So I think if they can get a few years out of Kingsbury there in Washington, I think Jaden Daniels will be just fine.
Well, and Kingsbury is more of like a wide receiver coach than a quarterback coach. He can take a quarterback that's average, and if I got two wide receivers that are good on either side, I'm just gonna shove them down your throat, and you're gonna have to stop both of them every single play. That's kind of how he
sure has that, and Samuel and McLaren.
Absolutely, and Samuel is kind of changing the game for him a little bit. I think they're still trying to figure out how to make it work together. But if those three get on the same page, they could be someone you don't want to see come January.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'd never thought of that. I'm now that you just said that in this moment, I'm glad that the Packers got Washington so early, because if Daniels, McLaren, Samuel, and Kingsbury kind of all start to jive, because there's a really talented individuals.
Samuel could break off a 50-yard run, have a 70-yard touchdown catch, while McLaren puts up 114 on the other side of the field, and Daniels runs for 75 himself in a game. Like, if that's the offense, then no one else needs to touch the ball at that point. So
I don't even remember who the running back is, but
coming into that, breaking news: Eckler is.
Oh, that's right. Eckler, he blew his Achilles.
Tore his Achilles. I think his career is over.
Yeah, that was a bummer.
It's really unfortunate.
I think once he left the Chargers, he's kind of just been falling off.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of knew what they were doing when they got rid of him. I think that was Harbaugh that made that move, wasn't it? or was it
Probably, yeah.
post Harbaugh hiring?
I think he left before Harbaugh got there.
Yeah, 'cause it's just Harbaugh's second year, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's the second year in Washington for Eckler. I'll just be real with y'all. It doesn't matter. None of us are
Yeah.
Washington Commanders fans. So
No.
let me go ahead and move on. Tell me about your Niners. What's
Well,
going on? What's going on down in San Fran?
We're kind of banged up. We've been banged up for the last couple seasons. With our quarterback being down, is our defense strong enough to let him nurse his injury and come back out there? We got McCaffrey running at half speed. He's been pretty productive thus far, receiving and running the ball. But we've been pretty banged up, man.
Yeah, how you feeling about Mac Jones having to lead the offense?
Oh God, I forgot
That's
about
a little
that.
scary. I
Yeah.
think he could be capable, but he didn't have a very good stint in New England. Yeah.
I think it probably just comes down to if why am I blanking on his name? Kyle Shanahan, if he can kind of work his magic on Mac Jones. I think that's really what you have to fall back on, is that hoping that Shanahan can kind of put the structure in place for Mac Jones to succeed.
Yeah, his offensive scheme is pretty complex. So he's going to be a student. He's going to need to be a student of the game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it just kind of depends on how open he is to, receiving some criticism. Obviously all these guys are great in college. I kind of really wonder if a part of it is bad offensive regimes that run in some of these organizations and bad structuring. But you're seeing kind of a resurgence of early round draft picks here in the last couple of years that move to a better situation that they sort of thrive in. I.e., like the Sam Darnolds, the Geno Smiths, coincidentally, both Jets quarterbacks that went on to do bigger and better things than the Jets have had in the last 3 years. But
that's a good call.
That just kind of shows you, like, it really truly matters who's in charge of, who's calling the shots. You kind of wonder if these guys got a chance to make something of themselves, on the second side.
Well, and if Mac Jones doesn't work out, do you guys know who the Niners' third string quarterback is?
Adrian Martinez.
The pride of Lincoln, Nebraska.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
/ Kansas State Wildcat.
Yeah. So I guess if Mac Jones doesn't work out, we might see Adrian Martinez running around there again. So
yeah.
All right. So you got any other team you want to cover there, Biggs? Before we move on to the kind of the meat potatoes here real quick. I got some juicy news on the Rams, but I'm going to hold out till we get rid of all the teams that we want to talk about before that.
Well, I guess we can break into it just a little bit of fantasy. We don't have to dive too deep into it, How's your fantasy team doing?
We went 1-1 in both leagues last week.
And that's when you had, 2 or 4 quarterbacks on each team?
No, one of them is a 2-quarterback league. The other one's a 1-quarterback league.
All right, right on.
Yeah, we split both of them.
Okay.
Kind of right in the middle of the pack.
Gotcha.
Doesn't look like that Nico Collins did a whole lot for you.
Yeah, I got written down right here. It's just a bounce back week for him.
Okay.
Is the Rams defense really that good, or was it a down week for him, or are the Texans in trouble? That's kind of where they're at this point. I put all my stock into him, so I'm going to continue to buy heavy on Collins.
Who else you got on your team? You got Alvin Kamara, I believe.
Yeah, I don't really know what he's got going on this weekend. I don't trust the Saints at all, but he was the best running back that was available when I drafted.
I mean, he's very consistent when he plays.
I mean, he's got to touch the ball. Someone in New Orleans has to touch the ball and move it down the field. So, I mean, he's been a guy that's consistent for almost 8 or 9 years now.
Yeah.
He's consistently top 10, even missing a couple games a year. And it doesn't matter who his quarterback is. Obviously, he did better when Breeze was running the helm. But, I mean, even with, who was it? Joe Martin or whatever the hell that dude's name was.
All I know is it's Spencer Rattler now. So,
yeah. Give him the damn ball or throw it to him.
Yeah.
Like I said, I started Debo this week over Jameson Williams. Hey, let me ask you this: how do you feel about the Lions and what they looked like after that first game without Ben Johnson as the OC?
Yeah, I guess I don't have a whole lot. I didn't watch a whole lot of the NFL games this past weekend. I was out of town, so
that's right.
The only game that I did have time to watch that I don't know if we wanted to talk about was that insane Ravens Bills game. One of the most miraculous comebacks that you'll ever see in an NFL game. That was absolutely nuts to see that. I think the Bills were down by like 15 with just a couple minutes left. That's but yeah, I guess getting back to your Lions thing, I know that there was some. I didn't watch the video, but I guess their defensive coordinator kind of went on some sort of rant or something like that. Where I know it sounds like there could be trouble in paradise already in Detroit, because that's kind of what we talked about is how that team was going to fare without those two elite coordinators. And so far, obviously it's early. It's only been one game against what's turning out to be an elite defense and maybe one of the best teams in the NFL. So it'll be interesting to see if they bounce back. Who they have next week? Oh, they've got the Bears. So that's
so easy bounce back week. Easy bounce.
I'm not gonna say that, but I'm not gonna jinx myself.
Bakes, you why don't we run through a fantasy quick hitter real quick? I'll give you an opinion on them.
Okay. Well, since we're just talking about the Lions, let's talk about Williams.
If you got him, I'd sit him this week. You got to show me something.
I think he's a very, very consistent receiver. I just feel like he has character issues, and that's the only thing that's really holding him back. He feels like he deserves more.
I mean, me personally, I got to see more from him if I'm going to play him at this point. I played Debo over him this week. Obviously, Debo played last night or a couple nights ago, and I'm already feeling good about whatever he does regardless. Yeah, got to show me more. Give me something. Give me a 50-point game, and you'll play the rest of the year. That's kind of how I look at it.
All right, well, how you feel about Cooper Kupp this season?
Oh, man. It's funny you say that because I just
that's your boy right there. At least he used to be. I guess he's not so much anymore.
His jersey still hangs above my bed. Yeah, it's gonna hang there forever. So I ain't never gonna
Seattle,
talk.
Right?
Yeah, he's in Seattle now. I ain't never gonna talk bad about him. But he was just picked up as a free agent in one of the leagues I'm in Thursday night. So do with that information what you will. But yeah, once again, you got to show me something. Playing with a different quarterback, playing with a different team. Like, I need to see a couple 100-yard games back to back, or maybe a couple touchdowns with 7 receptions. And if you do that, then I'm all in. But you're kind of putting yourself on like a late stage, Julio Jones at this point, or a DeAndre Hopkins.
You just compared them to two really great wide receivers, man.
Yeah, but look at their last couple of years, though.
Yeah, he had back-to-back really, really good seasons, and injuries set in. And
that's just it. It's the injuries. Who else you got? Give me a couple more, and then we'll get into the prime time subject for the night.
All right, well, let's hit up the Dolphins and let's talk about their running.
Oh, cut everybody. Unless you got Hill and you need to keep him and you drafted him too high, get rid of every Dolphin you got.
What about the touchdown machine?
Achane?
Achane, yeah.
I don't know, dude. With Tua throwing the ball and Mike McDaniel kind of seeming like he's a lame duck at this point, I don't know. I avoided every Dolphin when they came around every round this year. It didn't matter who it was. I was a big believer in Jalen Waddle a couple years ago, and I won't ever touch that dude with a 10-foot pole ever again. Like, I don't know. The Dolphins just kind of squandered all their talent in their prime.
Yeah. Well, let's
I
talk
mean,
about
they
the
made
Rams.
Daniel Jones look good. That's never a good sign.
Yeah, that's a horrible sign. Danny Dimes.
Danny Dimes, baby.
I guess
Another New York washout.
that's right. Hey, they're kind of littering the league with good players now.
They really are. Yeah, it's
I
kind
mean,
of
look at
funny.
Saquon with the Eagles.
Yeah.
I mean, we
And then,
named the
yeah,
two
you
quarterbacks
mentioned
earlier.
Darnold. Yeah.
Danny Dimes throwing dimes again down
Yeah.
down in Halliburton territory.
Yeah.
Um,
That's one thing that I guess just to deviate a little bit. That'll get interesting there, and with the Giants to kind of see what happens with their quarterback situation. Unsurprisingly, I wasn't watching, but it sounds like that Russell Wilson didn't have that great of a game. So it'd be kind of interesting to see how long they give Wilson with Jackson Dart waiting in the wings. Feels like they need to tough it out a little bit longer, just so that they don't put Dart in a tough spot. But yeah, as usual, the quarterback situation is very interesting.
they
In New
lost
York.
last week, right?
I think so. I assume so.
Thanks. Can you pull that up?
Yeah, I
Yes,
think
yes,
I
they did.
think
They
Dart
lost to Commanders.
resting as long as he can. So
Who'd
when
they
it's
lose
his
to?
turn to
The
shine,
Commanders.
he'll be able to just take over the team.
That's right.
But as of right now, Russell Wilson is still the man. He did have a few miscues, but overall, he's a true professional. He always shows up prepared. So I think they'll correct some of those mistakes. Iron out a few wrinkles. I look forward to them really, really kind of making a playoff push. Maybe not making the playoffs, but being in that conversation.
You know who they need to get the ball to if they're going to make that push is Malik Neighbors. He will make the offense go. He will make the offense go. If you get him 150 yards a game, you can do some special things. And then you can open up the middle of the field and all that. But until you kind of take the cap off the bottle, you're putting yourself in a box.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, certainly you six picks in the draft just a year ago. So yeah, that's kind of the guy. That's kind of the guy that you got to go to is his Neighbors there.
I mean, yeah, you didn't go pick him up for nothing. You didn't go pick him up to pass out water on the sideline.
No, yeah, and I don't think you have a whole lot else there. I forget what they're doing at running back. I don't even know who Tyrone Tracy is. So, yeah, and Neighbors is without a doubt their number one skill guy.
All right, well, Bakes, you want to ask me about the Rams?
Yeah, I've been waiting for this Rams conversation. With your quarterback being, a seasoned veteran, well-known quarterback in the league, always been able to produce. Father Time is here. Starting to show a little bit.
Oh, for sure. It's absolutely starting to show.
What kind of team you guys want to be?
Well, on the lighter side, real quick, JT, I'm sure you've seen it floating around on the internet as a joke, but they're claiming
or is he dead?
that Matt Stafford died years ago. Just because
I think it's on the table.
Just because he looks older and has a gray beard, I think that just shows you how delusional the entire world is. I mean, I love it. I think it's hilarious. I laugh every time I see something about it, but he's alive, everybody. Like, let's just be real and clear all the rumors up. He's alive and well, slinging for the Rams. The one piece of information I'm going to hit you with that I don't know if either of you have heard, there's a good chance that Stafford retires either at the end of this year or next year. The Rams are in a position at this point where they have a solid core around the rest of the team. They got a good running back. They have good wide receivers. They have a couple up-and-coming guys on defense that we could potentially be seeing the second coming of Aaron Donald with Jared Verse. Just kind of with the splash he's made right away. There is rumors floating around the Rams organization that they could go all in for another quarterback in a shitty situation and bring him into a good situation and watch him explode. I guess I'll pass the floor over to you guys. Who do you think the Rams would be willing to go all in for? And I'm talking everything's on the table outside of key assets. First round picks, second round picks.
I'm going to pass it over to Bakes because we've kind of talked about this already, so I know kind of what you're thinking. So I'll pass it off to Bakes to see what he thinks about who the Rams should grab as a quarterback.
It's kind of hard to say. There's a lot of quarterbacks in some messed up situations. I mean, I'm not like super high on Shedeur Sanders, but I respect his game and I respect his game tape. I respect his ability. It'd be nice to get him out of Cleveland. He's just rotting there. He's not even getting practice team reps at this point. He's just showing up eating sunflower seeds. You know what I'm saying? Supporting the team.
What do you think they'd be able to get him for?
It's practically nothing. He's a 5th round pick. His contract is $4 million. You can give away two 6th round picks in a tight end or.
So let me ask you this:
safety.
how do you see him? How do you see him performing in a Sean McVay offense?
Well, I look for any quarterback to come in and learn from Stafford firsthand. He's not ready to turn over the helm. He's a savvy veteran, although Father Time has been showing, but the team and even in myself, I'm not even a Rams fan, and I got full faith in him. So
Right.
It's just I think it's really hard to pinpoint who they should pick up for the simple fact is Stafford's not done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I'll kind of pick things up here, and I won't go towards the guys that you would kind of talk about, Josh. I'll let you touch on that if you want to. I guess one name that I think is kind of interesting is Malik Willis, who's here with the Packers. Who the Packers have had to go to Malik Willis I think 2 or 3 times last year. He actually looked pretty good. And for those that don't remember, Willis is the kid out of Liberty who was drafted by the Titans and kind of had a short-lived stint there with the Titans. I don't know if he bounced around anywhere between then, but he's kind of settled in here with the Packers, being Jordan Love's backup quarterback, and he's shown that he can come in a pinch. He's been really impressive. There's been times where he's looked better than Jordan Love, to be completely honest with you. So I'd sure hate to lose him in Green Bay, but at some point someone's going to take notice, and obviously he would be willing to go somewhere else. So that's kind of a guy that I think would be interesting. I think, Josh, what you had in mind is probably some names even greater than that, and I'll kind of let you get
Anthony
into that
Richardson?
if you want. Well, I think Josh, you said Dak Prescott, right?
No, so I got a couple names on the list. Dak Prescott is interestingly one of the names that I will not touch.
Yeah.
The couple names that come to mind, and I don't know if you guys are understanding how aggressive that I've heard the Rams are going to try and be, if this is a potential thing. And once again, I don't know if this is a thing, but it's kind of what's floating around like within the Rams sphere at this point. Is they're looking for a guy like potentially Baker Mayfield or
Do you think Baker's going to come back?
I mean, he's in the league because he led the Rams on a 98-yard drive to win a game.
I think Baker's always been a solid starter.
Well, how much longer do you see Mike Evans playing?
At least 3 years.
You're giving him 3 years? I don't know. Man, I feel.
Did you say Anthony Richards before? I really like Richardson. I think you said that.
No,
I think that's an interesting.
No, I said
think
that.
I think that's okay. I don't know.
Josh is a wild card.
I think that's an interesting name. I like Richardson a lot. I think he's kind of gotten a raw deal there in Indianapolis. I feel like has all the tools to be a really good quarterback.
I don't know. I don't like the whole potentially giving up or like I can't play because I'm tired thing. Like I don't know. And McVay's a different animal as a coach. So, what he sees as, certain things, God forbid, maybe the Niners get tired of Purdy in 2 years and the Rams go out and trade for Purdy.
That's
that happened.
Those are kind of like, well, I don't think it would happen unless the Rams gave up a lot because that's an in-division trade. and you're basically giving up your quarterback for not your quarterback.
I think the only way it would happen is, and we kind of saw a little bit of this before Purdy signed his big deal, is if it was a situation in San Francisco where they could kind of plug in whoever they want, and so might as well trade Brock Purdy for some draft capital. It's clear that John Lynch and the 49ers don't feel that way. I think that's the only situation where they would trade Purdy, is if they feel like Kyle Shanahan's system is so good that they can just plug in anybody. But that's such a cocky way to get. It's playing with fire. It's very risky, and it's clear that I don't feel like they would go that direction.
That ain't happening.
So let me ask you this: what if Mac Jones goes out on Sunday and throws for 340 yards and 4 touchdowns and a pick?
4 weeks later, Purdy will be right back in as a starter.
Think so?
Yeah, I know for a fact.
I mean, I hope you're right. Obviously, we're big Brock Purdy guys.
Listen, before anyone,
it was in college.
Before anyone comes back on us, this is not an anti-Brock Purdy show. This is just for conversation of, hey, actually, you know what? 49ers, Brock Purdy's ass. You should trade him to the Rams because they need a quarterback like him that doesn't do anything.
I'm not a fan of any of your ideas right now, personally.
So that's like the big speculation I got on the Rams situation. I really do like the take the young quarterback approach and let the big money guy go. You've seen it with the Vikings. McCarthy might have pulled that game out of his ass deeper than anyone that's ever started in their first NFL game in history. But I don't know if you guys seen the post game interviews or the little locker room highlights, but this dude has some balls in McCarthy. It's kind of nuts.
I think he has the clutch gene, personally. He may not have like the best arm. He may not be the best quarterback, but I think the young man has a clutch gene for sure.
He's 16-0 in his last. He's 16-0 in his last 16 football games.
Yeah, he's conditioned to win. So, yeah, I'll go ahead and give him the clutch gene.
All right, Bakes. We're gonna hit the final deal here. You and I are gonna lay out our takes here for the Terrence Bud Crawford and Canelo Alvarez fight tonight. This seems like an unfair fight as far as opinion wise because we're both on the same side, but I'm going to try and battle you back a little bit. And then JT, we're going to have you give us your prediction and don't be afraid to not pick the home team.
Well, me being a Nebraska boy, we got to believe in our own. Bud Crawford has continuously displayed his talents. He has earned his right. He has been edged in stone. I feel like he has what it takes to win tonight. Technically, if he loses tonight, I feel like there's no real losers.
He still wins.
Yeah.
You seen the check sizes?
It's not even really about the check. It's just the body of work. These both fighters are tremendous. Crawford's undefeated.
Alvarez has only lost to Mayweather, and he's got one other loss that
and then I believe
slips my mind.
As well.
And then a draw with Mayweather. Yeah. I think he's 52, 2-1. And a draw and a loss to Mayweather is pretty damn all right because he's considered one of the greatest boxers of all time. So I don't think you could take that as any shortfall. How do you feel about him moving up in a weight class? I think he skipped a couple weight classes, actually.
Yeah, he skipped 2. I think that is it shows a testament of what he's willing to do to be successful and to just display his talents.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I think he's always said that he's fought at least 2 weight classes below where he would ideally like to be.
Yeah. I think going undisputed in multiple levels and multiple weight classes, I think that's a tremendous feat for any athlete. I look forward to being a really good fight, but my heart says Crawford wins this one. He has the IQ, he has the speed, he has the body language, he can switch styles, and it's not just about power. But if you want to talk about power, just look what he did to Earl Spence. You know, who expected that to happen?
And it's funny you kind of bring up, Crawford is always kind of not criticized necessarily, but he always starts slow. He doesn't do nothing the first couple rounds. JT to kind of bring it full swing here. It's kind of like the Clones when they play defense. We'll go ahead and give up 10 points the first couple possessions, and then we'll just, we'll kind of eat and scratch our way through, and then you look at the end of the game, it feels like the ugliest game ever, and they end up giving up 10 points the whole game. Crawford just kind of sits there. He lets you kind of show all your moves right away, and then he kind of counteracts after 2 rounds, after checking the reach, checking the speed, seeing kind of how you want to, kind of how you're reacting to what he does, and then he kind of throws in almost like a secondary game plan. Bakes, I wanted to ask you. Well, don't make your pick yet, JT. Just relax real quick. What does each fighter have to lose tonight?
I don't think each fighter has anything to lose, bro. I think they both displayed their body of work. They both deserve to be etched in with the greatest boxers of all time. I'm just looking for a competitive match, and I'm looking for a Crawford W. And I know it might sound biased, but
that's all right. We're not an unbiased sports show. You can be biased as you want.
Well, that's homegrown, man. He's my age. We practically grew up in the same area.
Do you think Crawford has more to lose than Canelo with a loss tonight?
No, I feel like if Canelo loses, he should retire. I feel like if Crawford wins, he should retire.
I think there's a good chance both of these guys retire after this fight, depending on how it goes.
Yeah, I can see that happening. I think Crawford's done enough, win or lose. I feel like he's done enough, and he deserves his.
He's done more than enough at this point,
and he deserves it.
He deserves every penny he gets to step into the ring tonight, because he's done it so under the radar. He's done it almost as Omaha core as you can get, with coming up from the bottom of nothing to where he's at now. Like, he deserves every penny, every dollar, every spotlight that's put in his face, just from the perseverance he's had over the last 20 years at this point. I moved to Omaha in 2014, and that was kind of when he was getting on his roll, and it's just special, seeing how he takes over the city. I was lucky enough to see a fight of his at the CHI Center, the CenturyLink Center, the Questco Center, whatever the fuck you want to call it, down in downtown Omaha. And I don't know, this is just kind of a city where there's not a lot of unity between a bunch of different groups, and he kind of breaks the mold a little bit. Do either of you guys know how much anybody's getting paid tonight?
Well, it seems like Canelo's getting the bigger check.
Oh, for sure. JT, you want to take a guess real quick? Well, I'll give you you can guess what Canelo's getting paid and what Crawford's getting paid.
I guess I'm surprised that they're getting paid different amounts, but that just goes to show how little I know about boxing. I mean, I probably would have said in the range of like 50 million.
For who?
I mean, I wasn't thinking that each guy made a different amount. I was gonna say.
Oh, I'll tell you what, it's ridiculous.
I mean, and I see what your guy Spencer here said. He's got Canelo at 100 million and Crawford between 20 and 30.
Fucking Spence, dude, blowing the whole damn. It's a guessing game, bro. This is supposed to be a quick on the buck trivia.
Don't hate on our viewers.
Right. Actually, he's not only our viewer. He's
he's not only our viewer. Yeah, he's our sponsor.
Yeah.
All right, Spence. Who you got tonight, and how much money are you putting on Crawford? I'm gonna give you about 3 seconds to respond here.
I mean, do you want me to kind of go while we wait for him to respond?
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, because obviously I don't know anything. The only thing that I don't know much about boxing. Obviously, Canelo is more of like a mainstream name in my opinion. Obviously, even my inexperienced boxing, I know I think he had a match with Mayweather and he had a couple matches with Triple G there. And so if you were to ask me who wins this fight, I would say Canelo just because of that factor. Obviously, I know that Crawford's from the ONE, so I would certainly be happy for you guys if he pulled out, pulled it out. So, but that's who I would say. It's just from a name recognition. That's the name I recognize more, which doesn't always mean everything, but that's about what I can say. And I see that Spencer responded here.
Yeah,
he got Crawford by decision.
Got Canelo or got Crawford by decision. Thank you, Spencer. We appreciate you. We appreciate your sponsorship.
And once again, fellas, thanks for having me on tonight. I really appreciate it. I'm a big fan of
Yeah,
you
it's
guys.
fun.
I
We
watch
should
the
do this
show
again.
every week. No matter what chaos I'm moving through, I always got you guys on.
Yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and close it out right here. I appreciate both you guys being on tonight. As always, JT, continuing to be a part of this weird little journey that we're on right now and kind of figuring it out as we go. I can't say enough thanks to you for, kind of riding it out with me and just kind of saying fuck it and going with it. So like, I don't know if you know
as
how
long
much.
as you keep pulling all the heavyweight and doing all the behind the scenes stuff, I'll be here to open my mouth for an hour. So
Yeah, production should be up at some point here in the next 2 years. We'll figure it out at some point. I want to give a shout out to once again my CEO, my brother, Young Bakes.
Thank you.
I guess now that we're done, we can go ahead and break the news. We were in the same place the whole time.
Josh, you muted yourself.
All right, tell me what the last thing you heard was.
Well, I think you might have hit something when you turned the.
Oh, I muted through everything.
You turned the. So basically, whatever you said when you first turned the camera to him, I think it's kind of where I lost you.
Can you hear him?
Yes.
What's he saying?
He's saying when you turned the computer screen.
Yeah. And I just lost you again. So whatever you just did, you got to stop doing it. We can't hear you, dude. I don't know if you're talking to the audience.
All right, Mr. JT. It is September. We're not going to talk about that, but why don't you go ahead and land this plane?
I didn't even hear what you said before you said September.
It doesn't matter at this point.
Okay, that's fine.
Just land this bitch.
That's fine. Thanks everybody for tuning in. For those watching college football, I'd recommend tuning in to NBC to watch the end of this Texas A&M Notre Dame game. That looks to be the closest one. And we'll see you guys next time on the Self-Made Music Sportscast.
That is, again,
I might have said the name wrong. I'm sorry.
Nope. You're totally fine, brother. That is JT bringing you the closeout. As always, I'm Slim. Glad to be joined by Young Bakes tonight. This is the closeout from the Self-Made, the Label Music's Sports Networks Friday Night Live on a Saturday. Appreciate you guys for tuning in.
Peace.